Hi, this is today I want to discuss a very difficult subject, which is Jacques Chirac, uh, former president of France, Jacques Chirac. Um, his passing, his death, really has marked an end of an era, unfortunately for France, and an end of an era for a Cold leader who's really helped defeat communism in Europe and globally helped us defeat communism. Um, who is Jacques Chirac? Well, he rose through the ranks in France to become one of the most influential and most important democratic leaders ever elected in France. And pretty much about the only one who ever become president, and he also become the most popular democratically elected president in a socialist country, which is what France is, socialist system. And it was thought when he first decided he was going to run for office that he would never be elected. He had no elected, he had no knowledge and no skills as far as becoming a leader of a nation. He was a private businessman. He had no political skills, and pretty much nobody paid much attention to him. However, he had a dream, and he persisted with his dream. And through his lifetime, he chose his own way, and he also became one of the most important world leaders on this planet, representing France in the G20 summits and in NATO, heads of state summits, and in ASEAN and many other important summits that he's participated in, representing France. He's considered to be one of the best world leaders that's ever come out of France, and he led France to victory against communism. And although socialism has persisted, unpleasantly persisted in France for a very long time, he built the Democratic Party, a France Democratic Party, FDP, in France that continues to exist today. He is one of the most progressive Democratic elected people ever to serve in the Parliament, and also as a parliamentary representative, and to be elected president of France. He is a member of Public Leadership Group, which I belong to, and multitudes of others on this planet belong to it also. We're the older generation of leadership, of Cold War leadership, and I marked the passing of him on PL Twitter account in memory of Jacques Chirac, who brought peace. He worked diligently and heavily for peace in the Middle East. He worked for and succeeded in a lot of things with other world leaders to bring together certain peace solutions with Lebanon and also with Israel. His bold support of Israel really brought a new definition to what it is to be in the Middle East and to support Israel as a nation, which he is one of the first world leaders to step forward to boldly support Israel. and say Israel belongs to this planet, and it's a very important nation. So as I mark the passing on Twitter, and I also mark the passing on here of a great man who served France and served the world in his own way, with dignity, courage, and confidence. I reflect on his involvement in discussions at Camp David, which I participated in with Jimmy Carter, although I was not in Carter administration, but Jim participated in later years with other of my presidential bosses. And interaction with King Abdullah and King Hussein of Jordan. Jacques Chirac was unapologetically and unafraid of saying what he thought, which is democracy is the most important thing in his mind and heart, and he promoted it very best that he could, in consideration that he had an enormous amount of socialism in his own nation that was that he knew for certain was against him. But he gained a lot of friends, and a lot of people liked him on this planet, and a lot of other world leaders congregated around him because they knew he was right, that he did things right. So this is an loving tribute to a great member of our PLG, Public Leadership Group, that I create this video segment. And thank you to Jacques Chirac for being involved directly in also the Berlin Wall and the defeat of the Soviet Union. So many things that he's been involved in his lifetime. It's a salute to you, Jacques Chirac. You are a great man. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Jacques Chirac. Peace with you.